Are you wondering whether it is truly possible to receive both a temporary increase to your Social Security check and a separate stimulus-style payment at the same time? Or whether that is just another confusing headline making the rounds online? I'm Sarah, and today I want to slow this conversation down and walk through it carefully with you. There has been a lot of noise, a lot of mixed messages, and understandably, a lot of concern. When you rely on Social Security as part or all of your monthly income, even small changes can feel overwhelming. My goal here is not to hype anything up and not to dismiss real possibilities either. It is to explain what is actually being discussed, how it could affect you, and what is known right now, using clear and honest information you can trust. Over the past several weeks, many seniors and people with disabilities have been asking the same question. Can someone on Social Security really receive both a temporary monthly increase that adds up to $1,200 and a separate $2,000 payment if both ideas move forward? The short answer is that yes, technically it could happen, but the longer explanation matters far more than the headline. Let's begin with the proposed $1,200 increase, because this is where much of the confusion starts. This proposal comes from legislation commonly referred to as the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act. Despite how it is often described online, this is not a single lump sum payment. It is also not a permanent benefit increase. What the proposal outlines is a temporary boost of $200 added to your regular Social Security payment each month for 6 months in a row. When you add that up, $200 over 6 months equals $1,200 total. But it would arrive gradually, not all at once, and then it would end. According to the language in the proposal, this temporary increase would apply to people receiving benefits administered by Social Security. That includes retirees receiving retirement benefits, individuals receiving SSDI, people on SSI, survivors receiving survivor benefits, and those receiving spousal benefits. If this proposal were to pass and go into effect, the extra $200 would simply appear as part of your monthly payment during that 6-month period. Now, there is an important detail here that deserves careful attention. As written, this temporary increase would be paid from the Social Security Trust Fund itself. That raises concerns for many experts, and it is something you should be aware of. Social Security does not have unlimited funds. Without changes, the trust fund is projected to face serious shortfalls in the coming years, which could eventually lead to automatic benefit reductions if nothing is done. Using trust fund money to pay for a temporary increase could move that timeline closer. That does not mean helping people with inflation is wrong. Inflation has hit seniors and people with disabilities especially hard. Groceries, utilities, medications, and housing costs have all risen faster than many benefits. The concern is not about whether help is needed. The concern is about how that help is funded and whether short-term relief could create long-term risk for the program millions depend on. Now, let's talk about the separate $2,000 payment that has also been discussed. This is often referred to as a stimulus check, a rebate, a dividend, or a distribution. While the names vary, they generally point to the same idea. This would be a one-time payment, not a monthly benefit increase. Unlike the temporary Social Security boost, this proposal is tied to revenue from tariffs, meaning money collected through trade-related fees rather than Social Security funds. This distinction is very important. If such a payment were approved, it would not come out of the Social Security Trust Fund. That means it would not directly affect the long-term finances of Social Security itself. Based on how previous stimulus payments were handled, Social Security recipients could be included, along with many other Americans, depending on income rules and eligibility requirements that would need to be finalized. So here is where the two ideas come together. Because these proposals are funded from different sources and structured in different ways, there is no rule that automatically prevents someone from receiving both. One would be a temporary monthly increase tied to Social Security, and the other would be a one-time payment funded separately. On paper, it is possible. However, this is where we need to bring expectations back to a realistic place. While it is technically possible for both proposals to pass, it would be unusual for Congress to approve both at the same time. Lawmakers may choose one approach, delay both, or move forward with neither. At this moment, nothing has been passed into law. These are still proposals, and proposals can change, stall, or disappear entirely. There is some genuine momentum right now around helping seniors and people with disabilities. Many lawmakers from both parties have acknowledged that inflation has strained fixed incomes. Discussions about benefit adjustments, changes to cost of living calculations, and broader Social Security reform are ongoing. The fact that these conversations are happening matters, but conversation alone does not put money in your account. It is important not to make financial decisions based on money that has not been approved. It is understandable to hope for relief, especially when prices keep rising. But until something passes both chambers of Congress and is signed into law, no payment is guaranteed. If you are forced to choose between the two ideas, many people say they would prefer the $2,000 one-time payment. It is a larger amount and arrives all at once, which can help with urgent expenses. Others prefer a steady monthly increase, even if it is temporary, because it can help with budgeting. In reality, the choice does not belong to us. It belongs to lawmakers, and the outcome will depend on political negotiations, funding decisions, and priorities that are still being debated. There's another issue tied closely to this discussion, and it deserves honesty. Social Security needs reform. That phrase can sound frightening because it often brings fears of benefit cuts. But doing nothing also leads to cuts. Without changes, the program faces automatic reductions in the future. Reform does not have to mean harming beneficiaries, but it does mean making decisions that ensure the program can continue paying full benefits long term. Right now, there are many different reform ideas being discussed, some more reasonable than others. There is no clear agreement yet, and that uncertainty adds to the anxiety many people feel. What matters most is staying informed without being overwhelmed and separating confirmed facts from speculation. If you are a senior living on a fixed income, watching grocery bills climb while your benefits barely keep pace, your concerns are valid. If you are receiving SSDI and trying to support a family while costs rise, your stress is real. If you are a widow or widower managing grief alongside financial worry, you deserve clarity and compassion. You should not have to decode complicated legislation just to understand whether help might be coming. So, let's return to the main question one last time. Could someone on Social Security technically receive both a temporary $1,200 increase spread over 6 months and a separate $2,000 payment if both proposals passed? Yes, it is possible because they are different programs with different funding sources. But as of now, nothing has been approved and no payment dates exist. The most important thing to remember is this. Stay cautious with headlines. Look for confirmation, not excitement, and do not count on money until it is officially signed into law and scheduled. I will continue to follow these developments closely and explain what changes, what stays the same, and what it means for you, calmly and clearly. You are not alone in trying to make sense of all this. Many people are asking the same questions, and it is okay to feel uncertain. Take things one step at a time. Focus on what is confirmed today and let the rest unfold as it does. When there is real action, you will hear about it in clear terms, without pressure or exaggeration. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and please take care of yourself.